Salutations, friends, and welcome back to another sketchbook tour. What is this? Sketchbook tour number 5, 6? I don't know anymore. It'll say in the title. Here we're doing my current sketchbook. This is the biggest sketchbook that I have worked in by far. I don't usually go for these larger sizes, but I did for this one, and I've been loving it. I've been enjoying it so much. My name is Eveline, if you don't know, if you haven't been around, if you're new here. So hi, hello, welcome, salutations. I am an artist in all kinds of different ways. I draw and paint, I do videos, I sew, I sculpt. I've recently started learning how to make puppets, all kinds of stuff. So I'm a jack of all trades when it comes to creative stuff. I hope you enjoy. I do not know the brand of this sketchbook. It does not have any branding on it whatsoever, although I do remember buying it, and I'm fairly certain that I bought it from Hobby Lobby. So yeah, it's just an 8x10 sketchbook hardcover from Hobby Lobby. So if you're looking for it, that's where it's from. The sketchbook is held up really well. I put all kinds of different mediums on it, so I really like it. I like the paper. It's a nice texture. That's usually what I'm looking for when I buy sketchbooks is just the paper. Like, I just open it up, feel the paper, and if I don't like the paper, then I don't buy it. Let's open this guy up. As you can see, I'm right about halfway through. This is a Christmas card from my grandma that I need to put in here, but it's got this large sort of pom-pom on it, so I'm kind of worried about it warping everything. Alright, the first page. So I, like a lot of artists, struggle with first page anxiety, and so for this one, I decided it's so big, I'm going to just dump a bunch of random stuff in it. And at the time, I'd been a while since I'd done a lot of drawing, so yeah, this is just sort of my dump. This is a sketch of my ex-boyfriend. It doesn't really look like him. His face is all kind of disproportionate, so I don't feel super uncomfortable putting it in this video because I really don't think you're going to be able to, We have Bilbert the duck. We have some chickies, a little goose with some little nuggets, some Billy Joel lyrics, a little picture of a cat that I stole from Pinterest. This was printed with one of those little heat printers that I got, and I love it so much, and I use it all the time. There are going to be more of those in here. Here's a self-portrait of me with my shaved head. If you want to see me shaving my head, that is a video on my channel. So, and then Rufus, and my start date is February 7th, 2022. And this goes, I'm going to be showing you all the way up until New Year's. So, here is just garbage. This was done in a D&D session. I was doodling some of the things that were going on, and then this is, I was figuring out how I wanted to rearrange my room. A little rose. Here's my calendar for March and April of 2022, and I just stuck in this piece that I did. I'm pretty sure I did this one in July, though. Here I was drawing from some of the shows that I had watched recently. Here's The Haunting of Bly Manor. I actually really like how this looks. I think it's super creepy, and it really portrays the Lady of the Lake. And then these were inspired by the newer Are You Afraid of the Dark series that's on Netflix that has like 3 parts to it. But the Dark Carnival, and I love the reds and blacks, and these little clown guys, little trash cans, I thought were so cool and so cute. I love clowns. That's a thing that you should know about me. I absolutely love clowns. Here's a drawing of my sorceress character that I was playing as. Her name was Burla. She's a dark sorceress kind of thing, a dwarf. So she's got this absolutely majestic beard. And then here's notes from that campaign and my character sheets. Some random doodles from while we were playing. Here's something that I do a lot when I'm stressed out or like super anxious or just not in a great place mentally, but I need something that I can do to focus on and calm me down but not really have to think about it, is I'll do these pattern designs that are just these very intricate, very busy designs where I can just like draw the same thing over and over and over and over again and then like color them in. So here's that. This was done over a page that had some stuff on it that I just didn't like. It was just notes and most of the pages were empty, and so I went back and did this when I was going through a pretty stressful time. Here we have a design for an outfit that I was going to make for my friend for Christmas, and I ended up just being able to make the skirt. I didn't have enough fabric to make the hat and the little cape, unfortunately. But yeah, here's all of that kind of stuff. These are a song lyrics that I was writing, or poetry. They're both the same thing for me. Some alien stuff, a little design for a UFO lamp that I really want to make eventually, that has like a cow hanging from it, and then yeah, it's gonna be really cute, I think, and I'm super stoked to make it eventually. And then just a little cow who's dreaming about aliens and singing Dixie Chicks, but a space version. Here's more D&D stuff. This was from the campaign where I was playing as a ratfolk barbarian named Crouton. He's probably one of my favorite characters I've ever made. I love him so much. I actually ended up turning him into a puppet, like an actual hand puppet. So yeah, this turned into this larger piece that I actually only recently sold. So here's more calendar stuff and more like shapes and lines. I think this was probably right after I got my Ohuhu set. I got the pastel set, and it was my first kind of foray into alcohol markers, and so I was just playing around with them with colors. Here's designs for some thank you stickers for my shop. Commissioned logo for my mom's thing that she does. So she's also an artist. She's incredible, and her art style is so different from mine, and I love it so much, and go check her out. A design for a coat tree that is made out of all hands and fingers. I will be making this at some point in my life. This is notes for a video, more notes for a video, designs for a top. I actually did end up making this top in a video. You can find that on my channel. Here is the thumbnail if you're looking for it. Map for a campaign that I'm working on, and here is more lines and shapes and busy work. Here's another little thumbnail for that skeleton painting that I did. And I was testing out my paint pens. I got a big ass paint pen, apparently. So I never used paint pens, so I was like, I'll test them out. Here's more of that pastel Ohuhu set and more stress work. I actually really like the way that this looks. I think it'd be really cool to use this as a background and paint something or do something on top of it. I really liked how this also looked with it just bleeding through, and so I didn't want to cover it up. These were some alcohol markers that I found in the clearance bin at either Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but I only had these colors to work with, and so I did a page of weird drippy things with just those. And here is a mandala. I am not good at mandalas. This is probably the best one that I have done and that I will ever do, because I also don't really like drawing them. But the reason I drew this one is probably because I was watching a lot of TrippyDraws. Savannah, she goes by TrippyDraws for all of her art stuff, but she does a lot of these like weird melty kind of things, and she does a lot of doodles and mandalas and stuff, and her videos are kind of like comfort videos for me when I'm want to be creative, but I'm also like stressed and stuff. So as you'll see a lot of work inspired by her stuff in here. Here's more mandala. This one I used a Sharpie. This is a design for a piece I want to do that's inspired by the artist Morgan Echols on I think I found her initially on TikTok, but she does these really incredible paintings that are just concentric circles, and they're so clean looking and so cool and weird, and I love them so much, so I wanted to try and do something like that and just see if I could. More playing with colors and lines and stuff, and we have Eddie. Woo! Eddie from Stranger Things. I I love weird characters, man. Just, I relate so hard to just being the weirdo, you know? It's so fun. These are the stamps that I made for my thank you cards for my shop. Here's learning how to love life and fall in love with life. I think it's really important, especially for me, to love my life and to romanticize things, especially a lot of the little things, because I feel like I get caught up in a lot of the negativity in my life and bad things that happen, and where I should be and why I'm not there and what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. And I think it's really important for me and my mental well-being to romanticize all my life. And so here's notes about romanticizing autumn. And I really was inspired by the YouTuber darling Desi. Her videos are just so comforting and incredible, and she's just the sweetest person, and I love her so much, and I love her videos, and they're very aesthetically pleasing, very cozy. So here's the designs for my Halloween cards that I did. Those are also a video on my channel. So my costume designs for last year, I did end up making both of these costumes. This you can see in a video, part of the making process, and also me wearing it and taking photos and stuff. These also got made and put on my shop. They were ornaments. They are no longer on my shop. They will probably be back next winter or not next winter, but like next November for Christmas. So if you are interested in these, they will be back in my shop. I'm just taking them down for now, and we're doing Valentine's Day stuff, and then spring, and so Christmas ornaments will be back though this coming holiday season. And then this, I love this costume. I got some really cool pictures. I'll throw a couple up on the screen. But it was inspired by the beast from Over the Garden Wall. And here's my design for my crouton puppet. It was the first time I ever made a puppet, like a hand puppet, like from felt and that kind of stuff. And I love it so much. I'm so excited about it. Here's the design for another puppet. This one actually, I had a dream where I had this puppet, or I had made this puppet, and so I really want to make this cute little clown guy. He's going to be my next puppet, and I will definitely be making him on camera. Christmas present stuff, I've just covered up family names and whatnot. Here's designs for a nightgown and some designs for Christmas cards that didn't really end up working out. Here is me planning out a Jaskier cosplay because I finally finished Season 2 of The Witcher, and I am just obsessed with his coat. I love all of these. I'm a sucker for a leather trench coat, and then when you put all of these details and stuff on it, I'm like, man, I need this coat. And so here's me mapping out all of what it would take to make this costume. Hopefully I will be able to make it this year, because I'd love to make it and wear it to a Renaissance festival. I've never been to a Renaissance festival, and so maybe this is going to be a very big and expensive project, though, if I do it. So here's the planning for my room makeover that I did. That is also a video on my channel if you are so interested. And so this was just me planning out the furniture layout. This was my old setup and then my new setup, and this is working out so much better. It's not exactly like this, but it's close enough, and it worked out. And here we have Shane Top. He posted these pictures of him in this really pretty chiffon, I think, dress, just pastel dress, on Instagram a little while ago, and I had them saved to draw eventually, and so here's me doing that, practicing with skin tones and stuff. His face up here, I'm not a huge fan of the shading that I did, but I think, like, everything else looks really nice, so. This was done, again, with the pastel Ohuhus, and then the skin tone were my Crayola set that I have. Here is directly from a TrippyDraws video that is one of her more recent videos where she was showing you how to draw these kind of things. I believe she was using paint pens on canvas or on a wood board or something, but I decided to follow along and do it in my sketchbook with my markers. And then here's just a more brightly colored version of that because everything bled through, and so I just went over it again. I much prefer this side to the other side. I think this side is so much more vibrant and it's so cool, and I went through and I ended up doing a bunch of those little designs and all of the little stripes and stuff, and I think this one is, I love how this looks. So like I definitely want to bring more of these sort of just teeny tiny busy patterns into my work. Here's me trying to learn to love colored pencils. I don't like colored pencils. It's not on their own anyway. I just, they're so, I just cannot grasp them. Here, I tried to do a little landscape. That didn't work out, and then so I switched to just doing little doodles. And I love these designs, but I think I want to do them in other places. Here we have the professor from Puppet History, a little snail leaving a little slime trail, Rufus, and this was this was based on a picture I saw on Pinterest of I think it was like a Victorian stuffed animal. It was just this like really sad looking long bunny, and it was so cute. And so this guy I would like to turn into like a little character or a sticker or something. I think it would be really cute. A little mushroom, and then this guy I also think would be cute as a little sticker. He's a little Siamese rag doll kind of thing, but with the eyes and stuff. I just love the eyes. They're so good. Here's working on Valentine's Day stuff for the shop. These dishes turned out like this. They are available on my shop. If you would like one, you can also order them to be able to be hung on the wall if you would like. So you can either use them as a little trinket dish or use them as some wall decor. It's up to you. Both options are available on my shop. Designs for Valentine's Day cards. Here's a review that I got on my Christmas ornaments that just made me so happy. This made my whole December. This made me so happy. I loved it so much. So thank you to this person for leaving this review. It just it makes me so happy. We have Rachel Masky. This was from her gingerbread dress video. This sketch really doesn't look like her, but this quote that she said is my new motto for the winter. I will never let this go. Seasonal saddies are for seasonal baddies is just peak quotage. Like, I want to get this tattooed on me. This is amazing. Like, here we have some fat birds. We've been having these little sparrows all over the place. We've been feeding them, and they've been coming up on the porch and eating off the porch, and they're so round and they're so fat. It's fat bird season. And then we have Rufus watching the birds. So here he is flat on the ground, all like balled up with his little tail and his little ears up. And then here he was. This was from a photo that I took of him where he is like sat with his little hands up, like just watching them. So, but yeah, they're so cute. I love birds. This is Christmas Eve spread. This was when I was watching Muppets Christmas Carol. The best version of the Christmas Carol on film is a Muppets Christmas Carol. You can't argue with me. But my mom had bought these watercolor pencils. I think she just got some Artist Loft watercolor pencils. They were just the cheaper ones, but I took them so I could play around with them, and I actually really like them. I'll probably have to get some for myself, but that's what all of this is. We have a cursed gonzo because this was me drawing while just trying to watch the film with everything moving around, and then I was like, this isn't gonna work, and so I just took some screen grabs and started doing this. So this gonzo looks a lot better with the little Rizzo and Beaker and Kermit, and yeah, I love it. Again, puppets. And then this portrait of Ebenezer Scrooge. This is just sort of in the way that I draw, but this was done with a graphite watercolor pencil, which I didn't know was a thing, and this is like my new favorite thing. So it's just a regular graphite pencil. I think this one was 6B that I was using. You use it like a regular pencil, but then you add water to it, and it turns it into this cool watercolor thing, and it's so cool, and I love it so much. It's so fun. So that is something that I'm probably going to be incorporating into my regular art supplies that I use all the time. And then we have the Ghost of Christmas Is Yet to Come. Yeah, and then I also watched White Christmas on Christmas Eve. So we have the sisters, some sketches, a little study of the poinsettia costumes that they were wearing, and their weird tambourines. This guy, I'm not a huge fan of his head. I think the form turned out okay, but I need to get better at my more illustrative style, I think. I need it to be more refined. This, I think if you cover this up, this looks okay. I do really like this Christmas tree. I really like how this tree turned out. I just was layering all kinds of paint pens and stuff on top of it, and I think it looks really cool. Here is some sketches from my aunt's Christmas party that I went to. I did have to go through and cover up all names of family members and stuff. But, yeah, this is my older brother. He was dragging all 4 of the older kids, up and down the hallway by their legs, and they were having a fucking amazing time. My cousin with her little baby, he's just a few months old. And then we all played left, right, center, and we all put like $3 in, and my uncle ended up winning like $60. It was so much fun and very intense. And then this is just the envelope from the Christmas card that I got from my aunt. And then it was my little cousin. She wrote everybody's names on their envelopes, and so I put it in here because I thought it was cute. And then I put poetry and anarchism over top of it because I had my legal name on it, and I don't want that really on the internet. So these were all printed out using that little heat printer that I have. All just stuff that I pulled and stole from Pinterest of some punk girls. We have Winona Ryder. We have I forget her name, but she's the lead singer of Pale Waves, which is like a very like pop punky kind of band, and I really like their sound. But she's so pretty. I love her look. Susie. And then we just have quotes. Just quotes that I found funny or that I related to in some way. This quote is probably the greatest quote of all time. I love this quote so much. It still makes me laugh. I remember seeing it for the very first time, and I was like wheezing, laughing, out of breath for probably a good 5-10 minutes because it's just perfect. It's incredible. This is amazing. And then this is just a self-portrait of myself from when I did Liberty Spikes. Here we have my little Christmas present to myself. I got myself the 24-pack of skin tone markers from Ohuhu, and I was practicing using them, using their little step-by-step guide. So here's some studies of Winona Ryder. This is really the only one that looks like her, but I like how all of them turned out. I wasn't really going for like perfection. This was all just practice. So what I did was I used the markers, and then I went in with some colored pencils over top of them, and I really like that look. I like how that turned out. I think it looks really nice because the markers are so flat, which is some people's preference. Some people like the flat look. They like the really smooth look, but I prefer a little bit of texture, so that's where the colored pencils come in. And then this is lyrics from Missing You by All Time Low. And here's me. Oh, God. So when I was in high school and freshly out of high school and in college, there was a good 2 years where I was in a pretty solid 21 Pilots phase. And then I went to a concert. I went to their Blurry Face tour. I saw them in Seattle, and the show was absolutely incredible. They were amazing. Visually, I have that show burned to my brain forever. It was just so incredible. And the people that I met there in the crowd were so nice. I pretty much ended up going alone because the person that I went to was not a nice person, and it was before and after the show were a bad time, but during the show was absolutely incredible. But because of those before and after times in the show where I was with that person and it was just not fun for me, just not great, I kind of stopped listening to them. I would listen to their first 2 albums every once in a while because those are just staple albums in my music repertoire, but I didn't really listen to them. And it turns out that I didn't really listen to them for 7 years. I went back and I checked in, and I was like, oh, I haven't thought about them in a while, and I went and listened to their latest 2 albums that they released since Blurry Face, and I wasn't the biggest fan of Trench, but I really, really like Scaled and Icy, so I am fully back into my 21 Pilots phase. I feel like I'm a high schooler again because all I want to do is draw 21 Pilots fan art. I have so much fan art of theirs from high school, but yeah, particularly the song Joker, I really vibe with it. In the music video, I'm a very visually driven person. I love very strong visuals, and the music video for Choker is just so vibrant and interesting, and there's so much going on in like the toy shop and stuff that I was incredibly inspired, and it kind of pushed me back into drawing and doing this kind of things, which I'm very grateful for, because I fell out of it for so long. So I'm gonna try my hardest not to be embarrassed about what I draw and to just draw the things that I want to draw, because art is a hobby for me for the most part, and like I can do my serious drawing, but I'm gonna also allow myself to do these sort of self-indulgent pieces if I want to. But yeah, so this was alcohol markers, Micron, and colored pencil, and then some white paint pen to do sort of the highlights and stuff. And I really like how this came out. I think this looks so cool. It's so amazing. This makes me happy. So, and then here, I did all of these before I did this one, just to get some practice in, but these were gouache studies. I finally got myself a set of gouache. I've been eyeing this set of Winsor & Newton gouache at Michael's for months now, and for Christmas I got a $30 Michael gift card, and so I knew immediately. I was like, this is my gouache set, and so I went and I got myself the set, and here is my practice. This is my first foray into gouache. I've never really used it before. I used the sort of jelly gouache stuff before, but I definitely didn't use it correctly, and I definitely didn't try to learn how to use it, so I was determined this time that I was going to actually learn. I picked 4 screenshots from Choker because those were what I was wanting to draw at the time, and I did them one at a time and tried to improve with each one, and I think I really did that. You can see a very clear difference in the quality of this first study and the quality of this last one. Like, there's a very clear, even between the first and the second one. Like, this was total garbage. I really did not like that. It's so muddy, and like the colors are not vibrant enough, and this just did not work. This one I actually really like. This one got even better. I think I had a really good grasp on color mixing and the concept of that. I think the netting looks terrible, but I'm just not good at that kind of thing, with that kind of texture and whatever, but this turned out really well. And then this one I really love. I really do love this piece. I think it turned out so nice, and it's just so fun. This I'll probably cover up sometime in the future, but yeah, this spread makes me happy because I can literally see my growth. And the final page is a video on my channel, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it was a New Year's piece that I did to celebrate the coming of 2023, and so that video is up on my channel if you want to go see that as well. So my camera died, so I'm just going to go ahead and record this outro really quick on my phone, but or finish it. But as I was saying, my next sort of art tour, all of the sketchbook tour kind of deal that I'm gonna do is all of my old artwork from my like high school, college, all before I was like really focusing on like putting my stuff on the internet and building an audience, so which obviously I've been doing great at. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff in there that is all old like fan art and stuff and drawings, and I love seeing people's old art. I love seeing where people started, and so I really want to put my stuff out there because I really don't have any of that documented. I know a lot of people have like old Tumblr accounts and stuff or DeviantArt accounts where they would post stuff, but I really don't have that, so I wanted to sort of archive it on here, and I just think it would be fun to go back and look at all of my cringy artworks and all of my little obsessions that I did, because I drew a lot of fan art, a lot of celebrities. So, do I have paint on my chin? Yes. So if you're interested, if you want to see all my cringy old art, then stick around, subscribe, because that's going to be coming up here eventually. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to wash your hands. I love you, and I will see you next week. So, goodbye.